Brands on Brands.
Hey, what's up? Today we're looking at the Mario character from the popular video game series Super Mario Bros. As a personal branding profile. Check it out.
In a world where content is king and your reputation is your brand, how do you build a brand that matters? Welcome to Brands on Brands, a home for those that think different and push their boundaries. This is where branding that matters lives. Now, here is your host, Brandon Birkmeyer.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal branding coach. And today we are doing a personal branding profile on one of my favorite characters, Mario, from the Super Mario Bros. Video game series. If you don't know Mario, he's widely considered the most famous video game character in history, and he's part of the Mario franchise, which is the best-selling video game franchise of all time. His character was created by the Japanese video game designer Shigeru Miyamoto. He's the title character of the Mario franchise and the mascot of the Japanese video game company Nintendo. Now, if you haven't seen him and you've been under a rock, right? His character is an Italian plumber who resides in the Mushroom Kingdom with his younger twin brother, Luigi. Now, none of this is important, but I do want you to know a little bit of the history. When he first started, he wasn't the main character of the game. He was actually a player character in the game Donkey Kong. And in fact, Mario wasn't supposed to be the character that you used in Donkey Kong. Miyamoto wanted to use Popeye, a popular cartoon character. He wanted to use Popeye in the Donkey Kong video game, but he couldn't get the licensing rights. So he created his own character, who he called Mario instead. And that game became very popular. And then they continued to put him into games over and over. Now, the lesson today that we're going to be talking about is a lesson called Brand Ascension. Now, Brand Ascension is, when we're talking about personal branding, is thinking about how do you start on one path and then as you're building your brand, ascend to something greater over time, right? And that's the goal for every brand. Now, Mario is a great example of this because, he came from basically nothing. And then over time, that brand grew and grew from, a role-playing character to a title character to a smash hit to a diversification and expansion of different games and brands. If you don't know this, Mario has appeared in over 200 different video games since its creation. These include puzzle games, role-playing games, sports games, and one of my favorite, Mario Kart. If you guys ever played one of those race car games with Mario characters in it, Mario Kart was very popular. And he's appeared in other Nintendo properties such as Super Smash Bros., which is a series of crossover fighting games. He also has appeared in movies and books and TV shows and whatever else. He's definitely been a part of pop culture. And that's what Brand Ascension is. Now, obviously, as a personal brand, we may not reach the level of stardom that Super Mario has, which is sad because he's a fictional character. But what I do want to point out is that there's a few lessons we can learn about what it takes on your personal branding journey to chase after and to set a goal of brand ascension. The first is patience. The second is adaptability. And the third is vision. So we're going to talk about those really quick. So the first we talked about is patience. What I want you to know is that brand ascension is not a destination, it's a journey. For the Super Mario character, the journey from not even a title character to a massive, multimedia franchise was not a short path. This was, years and years of evolution and development. And sure, some of the games early on became popular, but even in the beginning, it wasn't brand ascension. It was just a brand. It was just a character. It was just one or two games. And along the way, they had, no idea what this could be over time. But as a personal brand, I want you to think about that what you're accomplishing today is probably unrecognizable to what you could be in the future. It's hard to picture where you're going and to know where this is all going to lead. So setting crazy goals are probably going to be unrealistic because you have no idea what you're going to be able to accomplish. The idea is to figure out what journey do you want to be on and to figure out how to stay on that journey as long as possible. Knowing that you are building your personal brand, it's something that's always going to be with you. It's your identity, it's your reputation. It's something you're intentionally investing in so that as you grow and develop and opportunities present themselves, that brand comes with you and it grows with you and it evolves with you. And you taking the intentional actions of investing in that and making them more recognizable, making them more aligned with who you are and what you want to become, and adding in skills and different attributes to your own identity and your own set of things you bring to the table is part of that journey. So think about this. If you were a character in your own life, what would you start to design differently? Where would you want to try to change things? What direction would you want to head? What would you want to try to learn and acquire and test and experiment at? What are the things that you could be doing right now that might open the doors to your brand ascension in the future? So think of this as a journey, not a destination. The second lesson that we're learning from Super Mario is the lesson of adaptability. Right? The first was patience because it's a long journey. The next is adaptability because that journey is unpredictable. They didn't know what Mario could be. They didn't even know that Mario was going to be popular. In fact, when they designed him, it was not even really thought out. It was just based on the limitations of the design they were working within in a 2D game. They gave him a big nose and ears and whatever, and they made him a plumber, which, who knows if that's something that was going to be, iconic in the future. It's unpredictable. And then over time, they were adapting. When they put him into a video game where he's now a race car driver, completely unpredictable, right? Very popular game. And then, later on saying, okay, he'll be a role-playing game. We'll have a Tetris-like game that's Mario-based. We'll have a fighting game that's Mario-based. We'll take this from 2D to 3D. We'll have sports games like not just Mario Karts, but like tennis and things like that. Things you wouldn't have predicted happened. So how do you set yourself up to be adaptable like the Mario brand has been adaptable? Because your future is unpredictable as well. Your personal brand journey is completely undefined, and you're going to hit points in the road that you struggle with. Well, you have to choose left or right, and maybe you'll start walking down one path and it's wrong, and you'll have to backtrack and start again. You're going to have to try lots of things. And that journey of trying lots of things, hopefully, A, along the way, you learn some things and you pick up some skills along the way. But B, hopefully you're failing forward. And that as you run into things, you're growing from that and you're challenging yourself to take on things to see if they fit and to see if they actually propel you to the next thing. The truth is that some of your biggest growth might be after you tried something that didn't work, but you wouldn't have even thought to try the next thing without first trying the first thing. Whether you succeed or fail at the first thing is not even the point, but it opens your eyes to new ideas when you go down a certain path. But if you don't go down any paths, then you will never know. So embracing that the journey you're on is unpredictable is a huge part of it. And then taking on skills that are going to help you be more adaptable to those changes is huge. So what do you have to do in your life to make yourself more adaptable? Do you need to develop some resilience? Do you need to develop some better job of being more committed to your journey, even when times are hard? Do you have to prepare some kind of safety net for when things don't work out for you? Do you have to bring on coaches and mentors to help guide you when times get dark and confusing? What can you do to become more adaptable to what you know is going to be an unpredictable journey? And then the third thing to think about on your journey of brand ascension, which again is a destination that is far off and your focus should be the journey. On that journey of brand ascension, which is unpredictable, it's also unmapped and uncharted. Your personal brand journey is yours alone. No one knew where Mario would go, but not every character that came after Mario had the same journey as him. There were other video game characters like Sonic the Hedgehog, for example, which was on a similar path, but definitely did not follow the same game plan as Mario. They probably both had similar things, movies and whatever else, but the games were different and the designs were different and the evolutions were different. And that journey for every person out there is just as uncharted and unpredictable. So you have to think of yourself as a trailblazer on your own journey. And what it takes to be a trailblazer is confidence that when you're not sure about what's ahead and you're not exactly sure that the direction you're going is the right direction, giving yourself some kind of compass to at least know that you are heading in vaguely the right direction is going to help, even if the path isn't clear itself. And this comes from a little bit of vision, understanding what you want out of your journey and what some of your goals are for yourself. Taking that time to think, what does clarity look like for me? What am I trying to accomplish is going to help. And I usually think about that as, who do I want to help? How do I want to help them and why? And that answer is going to be different for everyone. And it doesn't always have to be altruistic. It could just be that you have a certain set of skills and that you want to use them for a certain set of people because that's exciting to you. That's interesting to you. That helps with, what you're curious about. That is your journey alone and it's personal to you. Yes, you can look at other people's journeys and model them. I'm sure the, Sonic Hedgehog of the world looks at the game plan for Mario and says, okay, some of those things are opportunities for us as well. You can look at other people's journeys and say, these are opportunities for me as well. But your journey is going to be uncharted. So you continuing to stick to what's clarity for me, what's the vision for me, is going to help you make those decisions along the way that aren't clear. Figuring out, am I going left, right, or, straight forward is up to you. And you might have to try and fail again to figure out, is this the right way? But those failures are going to not hold you back when this is part of my bigger vision. Like I knew I might hit some stumbling blocks, but I have clarity in knowing why I'm doing this. So I'm motivated to keep going because I know what I'm heading towards. And maybe I get there, maybe I don't, but I know what I'm heading towards and I'm enjoying the journey of that. So I hope that when you are thinking about, a goal for yourself, you think about it in terms of this idea of brand ascension, that you are working on something that is always going to be with you, that the journey is yours and yours alone. It's going to take patience. It's going to take adaptability and it's going to take vision to get you there. That's my lesson for today from the icons of video gaming, Mario himself. Appreciate you guys listening. I hope you guys found a lot of value out of it, and I will catch you next time.
You've just taken your marketing knowledge to another level with this episode of Brands on Brands. But we have plenty more ways to help you build a brand that matters. Head over to brandsonbrands.com for resources, as well as access to our blogs, videos, and exclusive coaching sessions with your host. Be sure to visit brandsonbrands.com.